Let me introduce the speaker formally. He is a BTech Chemical Engineering. He has done BTech Chemical Engineering from IIT Mumbai. He is the founder and Chief Technology Officer at RFID Tax and Services. He has dedicated his career in leveraging technology. He talks more of technology. He drives business growth, enhances operational efficiency, and creates a global impact. He is also a volunteer in World Chronic Healing Foundation. On behalf of Iimm Bangalore, once again, I welcome you all. I welcome the speaker. All of you know what is blockchain. But how blockchain is used in supply chain management is a big question. When we talk of blockchain, people think it's only cryptocurrency. It is not only cryptocurrency, it is more than that. It's a distributed ledger technology, transparency, high security. You can easily find out, the traceability of the item, the origin of the item. Similarly, digital twins, we have heard of physical twins. What is digital twin? It's a virtual twin of the physical structure. Let's hear from Mr. Katakolge. He'll be eager to talk to us. Revolutionizing supply chain, the power of blockchain and digital twins transparency for efficiency, unlocking visibility, trust, and resilience in modern supply chain. Let's have a small quiz before we start. Is it okay, Mr. Ketan?
Sure, sir.
Okay. All of you see this number 96077. I'll click this. Please scan this. Please scan this. It will ask you for your name, and there will be 4 options: A, B, C, D.
Well, sir, you have to.
Please select the option.
You have to share the presentation. Not seeing, not visible.
This thing is not visible?
No.
Can't. Okay. 1 minute. Do one thing. All of you, please go to class point. I'll type here. Give me a minute. My screen is visible or not visible now, right?
No, not visible. Not visible. Even anything that about Iimm, whatever you have given presentation, that was not visible.
Why nobody told us?
They are listening only. Yeah.
You could have told me, Nagaraj. I'm really sorry. I'll run through it faster once again. Okay?
No, it's okay. You can straight away.
Give me a minute, not a problem. It's a matter of 2 minutes. Why no one has told me so far? Is it okay? Now it's visible?
Yeah, that is visible. That presentation and whatever you have addressed, very nice. You can go ahead with the program. No problem.
Okay, I'll just run through it. Just a minute, no problem. About Iimm, I talked about Iimm. What are the activities like professional developmental activity, consultancy, training program, research, membership, and education. And I talked about the membership benefits, which is 12,000 plus GST and 500 rupees. Contact our secretary, Nagaraj, Nivedita, or Kavana. These are our forthcoming events, which is going to be held, as I told you. 19th April, we are going to have the quiz competition. These are the events. This is about the speaker. Okay. Now, please. Yeah. Now it's visible.
Yeah.
Please scan this. Class point at app. Scan this. You'll get a question like A, B, C, D. These are your answers. A, B, C, D. You select. I'll read out. What is your current engagement with blockchain? 1 minute. I'll push this. Blockchain and digital twins. Are you actively using both? B is using blockchain only. C is using digital twins only. D is using other technology. You may be using some other technology, not any of these 2. You can share it. You type it in the chat. What is the technology you are using? You are neither using this nor that, or still only exploring. Please select A, B, C, D, E, anything. You scan this. And then answer will come A, B, C, D, E. Please select. Seven people have already participated. You can see here in the corner, 7 are there already. All of you, please scan. If you have any doubt, please ask me. You'll have to just write your name, that's all. Six responses have come. All of you take your mobile, please scan this.
Sir, I request you. I'm sorry, please go ahead.
Tell me.
People are, I think, responding back in the chat instead of on the poll. I request everyone if you can actually put it onto the poll, it will be much more helpful.
Yeah,
We
please
can
put
get
it in
a
the poll.
result pretty quickly. Yeah.
See, if you have difficulty, you can just go to a browser and type classpoint.io. That's all. Or classpoint.app. Classpoint.app. And this is the class code 96007. And these are the questions. Yeah, these are the questions. A, B, C, D, E. Nine people have responded so far. Do you find it difficult? Only 11 people have responded. You have to just scan this, that's all. Scan this code, it'll ask you for your name. And anyway, it'll give you all the other things. A, B, C, D, it'll give you, please put a tick mark.
Okay.
63%
That's
using E.
yes. So we are still in a very initial stage with these technologies, and it is something that I
I told you
expected.
in the beginning itself, yeah.
Yes. Excellent.
You can see these two who are using it already.
Yes,
Vishwanathan
that's
and
amazing.
Karthik.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Good. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, great. Okay. Can I share my screen and go ahead with it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that from my side.
I'll stop sharing.
Yes, please. Can you see the screen? No.
Yeah, we are seeing the screen.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah.
Let me start with it. So, you're seeing the presentation or the presenter's screen? I think the presentation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let me start with saying a very good evening to everybody. And thank you for this opportunity to speak here and to all the distinguished audience at IIMM. It's always energizing to be in a room, even though it's virtually nowadays, with professionals who manage the backbone of businesses, our supply chains. The topic for today's session is, as Sir has mentioned, revolutionizing supply chains, the power of blockchain and digital twins for transparency and efficiency. Now, let's be honest, the term revolutionizing gets thrown around a lot. But in the case of supply chain, it's not just a buzzword. Over the past years, we have seen just how fragile and complex our global supply networks can be, from pandemic disruptions to geopolitical transitions and compliances, fraud, and sustainability pressures, to name a few. And as we try to build supply chains that are not just efficient, but resilient, adaptive, and transparent, we need more than process improvement. We need a digital foundation that can support this shift. That's where today's two focus areas come in. Blockchain, which offers a shared system of truth across the entire networks, and digital twins, which allow us to model, monitor, and optimize our supply chains in real time. Used together, these technologies act as an eye, brain, and backbone for the smart supply chain, bringing trust to the data and intelligence to the decisions. Over the next hour, I'll walk you through the concepts, use cases, real world examples, and why now is the right time to explore these innovations, whether you're just getting started or looking to scale your digital transformation. We covered this slide, and I really appreciate. Thank you all for participating in the poll. And as expected, we are just getting started with these new technologies. They are still coming up, and not only India but across the world. So the expected results, I mean, the results were expected. To move forward, this is how we are going to really cover the next 1 hour or so. First, I'll briefly lay down why supply chains need to evolve and the growing role of digital technologies. We'll take a closer look at blockchain and digital twins, not for what they are, but why they matter to supply chain professionals like yourselves. I'll walk you through the real world examples and show what's possible. We'll also explore the pros and cons because no technology is perfect in isolation. The real magic happens when we combine them. I'll explain you how and why. And finally, we'll look at the implementation roadmap you can adopt, followed by an open Q&A. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let's take a moment to set the stage with the why. I'm sorry. Most of you are aware, most of you are no stranger to the persistent challenges in our industry, from transparency gaps to frauds and inefficiencies caused by fragmented system and siloed data. But here's the truth. There aren't just operational headaches anymore. The pressure is coming from all directions. Regulators are demanding greater compliance, traceability, and ESG reporting. Customers are expecting transparency, real-time delivery updates, and sustainability assurances. And globally, we are navigating an environment where disruption is constant, be it pandemics, climate events, geopolitical shifts, or supply chain volatility. We just saw one last week. In this kind of landscape, incremental improvements just don't cut it anymore. The strategic question is shifting from how we can improve efficiency to how do we build a resilient and adaptability into the DNA of the supply chain. That's why technologies like blockchain and digital twins, which were once seen as futuristic or niche, are now firmly in the realm of core infrastructure. These aren't just buzzwords. They are becoming the backbone of modern supply chains that need to be transparent, auditable, predictive, and agile. In fact, we are seeing more and more supply chain leaders reframing their digital strategies, not around tools, but around capabilities, such as, can we trust our data? Can we simulate a disruption before it happens? Can we automate responses without waiting for manual interventions? That's where blockchain and digital twins come in. Not an isolated solution, but as enablers to the new kind of supply chain intelligence. And that's what we'll be exploring in the next few slides. Understanding blockchain and tokenization. So let's demystify blockchain specifically in the supply chain context. At its core, blockchain is a shared tamper-proof ledger. It records every event or transactions on the chain of custody. We have been, it's very common to consider blockchain as a cryptocurrency. It is not. Blockchain is a technology. Cryptocurrency is implementation of that technology. The core technology can be used for a lot of other things. Think of the blockchain as a digital logbook, but instead of being controlled by a single company, it's distributed across every party involved: manufacturers, suppliers, transporters, warehouse, retailers. And here's the game changer. Once an entry is added, it's immutable. It can't be changed or deleted without everybody seeing it and noticing it. That alone creates a system of trust, not based on brand reputation, but based on mathematics and consensus. Let's bring this to the life. Imagine a shipment leaves a warehouse in Mumbai. That event is timestamped and recorded on the blockchain. If it arrives late in Rotterdam, or I'm sorry?
Disturbance in between, I'll try to stop that. You go ahead. Can you mute, please? Yeah, you can go ahead. Someone has muted you. Please unmute. Please unmute, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were talking about a shipment. Let's take an example that we have a shipment leaving a warehouse in Mumbai.
Sorry, you'll have to share your screen again. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Someone has in between, taken the control.
Yes. That's okay. That's okay. I'll share it again.
Technology disruption.
Yes. Okay. So we were talking about the basics of blockchain. So it's basically a shared tamper-proof ledger, and it is with every party which is involved in this whole thing. So let's take an example. Imagine that a shipment leaves the warehouse in Mumbai. That event is timestamped and recorded on the blockchain. If it arrives late, say at Rotterdam, or if the package was damaged in transit, that too is getting recorded exactly as it happens, with no room for disputes or blame games. Now, let's add a layer on top of it: tokenization, another key capability. So tokenization is basically a process of turning physical or abstract assets, a shipping container or a product badge, even a compliance certificate for that matter, into a digital token that can be tracked and verified on chain. This really matters because right now, so much verification still happens through email chains, paper documentation, or phone calls. It's slow, it's error prone, and biggest challenge, it's opaque to everybody. But when that shipment is represented as a token, its status, location, certifications, all of it can be verified instantly by any system or stakeholder in the network. Now comes the third piece, smart contracts, arguably the most powerful layer. These are self-executing agreements encoded in software. Think of them as programmable business logic. If goods arrive, I mean, just taking an example, if the goods arrive in good condition, release the payment automatically. No manual intervention is required. If the temperature exceeds the limit during transit, flag a non-compliance and alert the stakeholders. These contracts do not require human approval or follow-ups. They act instantly and transparently based on the data recorded. So now, instead of asking, did the shipment reach? Was the invoice approved? Or who signed off on the certificates? The system already knows and actions are triggered in real time. Together, blockchain, tokenization, and smart contracts build a digital backbone for trust, automation, and efficiency. We are not just digitizing supply chains, we are making them self-aware and self-enforcing. And as the supply chain complexity increases, this kind of intelligence becomes not just useful, it is becoming essential day by day. Digital twins. So now that we have established trust in the data with blockchain, let's talk how we turn that data into real intelligence. And that's where IoT and digital twins come in. Think of IoT, the Internet of Things, as a nervous system of your supply chain. Tiny, tiny sensors embedded in pallets, containers, trucks, even factory machineries, all constantly pulsating signals back to you. Where is this shipment right now? You have that data. Is the container's internal temperature within the threshold? That data is available real time. Is the vibration normal for the turbine blade in transit? IoT sensor is giving you that data. You're getting real-time granular feedback from the field. Not once a day, not once a week, but continuously. Now picture this data feeding into what we call a digital twin. A digital twin is not a dashboard or a 3D visual. That is what people look at it as. It is a dynamic data-driven model of the physical process. Whether it's a warehouse, a production line, or an entire global logistics network. Question is, why is it powerful? Because now you can simulate and anticipate outcomes. You can ask it questions like, what happens if we reroute the shipment through Dubai instead of Singapore due to congestion? If this supplier in Guangdong has delayed, what is the downstream impact on my, say, Pune assembly line? It's essential. It's essentially like a flight simulator for your supply chain, but it's driven by real live data sensors, not assumptions. Let's take a practical example of a predictive maintenance example. A manufacturer with the industrial presses sees that the digital twin, that vibration patterns have started deviating from the normal baseline. Now, this is a common problem right in the industry. Instead of waiting for a breakdown, they can immediately schedule a service proactively. And what does it result in? It reduces the downtime and saves lakhs in losses because of the downtime. But here's the big catch, and this is really, really crucial. A digital twin is only as good as the data it consumes. If we input the data that is corrupt, manipulated, or incomplete, the model becomes unreliable. What we say in the language of computer science, garbage in, garbage out. That's exactly where blockchain re-enters the picture. Blockchain ensures that the data flowing in from the IoT devices is authentic. It's exactly what the sensor captured. It is immutable. It hasn't been altered within transit and auditable. It can be traced back to exact source and time. Think about its implications. You're not just reacting to a problem, you're anticipating them now. You're not just simulating possibilities, but you're running those simulations on verified truths. And that's when digital twins evolved from being a tech gimmick to a true decision-making engines. Now let's look at how blockchain and digital twins are already transforming supply chain operations across sectors. Not in theory, but in the field in real life. Cold chain logistics, pharmaceutical and perishables. Think about a vaccine, biologics, or perishable food. These items must stay within precise temperature ranges. Any deviation can spoil the batch or even endanger lives. IoT sensors inside the container constantly measure temperature, humidity, even light exposure for that matter. This data is streamed in real time to the blockchain ledger, where it is tamper-proof and time-stamped. No one, not a supplier, handler, or logistics partner, can go back and fudge the logs. Think about the impact of this situation. The regulatory compliances, FDA or WHO standards, become so easier to follow. Audit trails are ready on demand. And in case of a failure, you know exactly when and where it happened. Just to highlight the situation or this example, Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine required ultra cold storage. I think it was minus 70 degrees. Blockchain-based systems were really trialed to ensure transparent and end-to-end cold chain tracking. Looking at other sectors like automotive, predictive maintenance, and smart contracts. Vehicles and their components are more sensorized than ever. Our cars are so intelligent today. A digital twin of an engine or a transmission system can monitor vibrations, thermal stresses, wear and tear in real time. When a fault is detected, a blockchain verified record ensures the alert is authentic. And here's where it gets interesting. Smart contracts on blockchain can automatically trigger actions, order a replacement part, notify a service center, even process a warranty claim or payment to a vendor without manual intervention. How does it really impact the system? It reduces the downtime, especially critical in fleet operations, lowers warranty frauds, and improves service SLAs with verified automated executions. Some of the big companies like BMW and Tesla both are using digital twins in production and post-sales diagnostics. Tesla, for example, logs in real-time vehicle data and uses it for OTA, over-the-air fixes and performance tuning. Pharmaceuticals, combating counterfeit drugs. Excuse me. WHO estimates that 1 in 10 medical products in low and middle income countries are substandard or fake. If we really look at these numbers, the numbers are much higher. Blockchain plays a very important role in this kind of a scenario, where blockchain allows serialization of every vial, tablet strip, or a batch. We can track it from the manufacturer to distributor to pharmacy to a patient. Every handover can be recorded. And if we combine it with technologies such as RFID or QR codes, anyone, even a consumer, can now verify authenticity. Just imagine an impact of this kind of a situation. It eliminates the counterfeits from entering the supply chain. So we are actually able to stop it at the very beginning. It strengthens the regulatory compliances, of course, and it builds a very important factor of consumer trust. Just to quote an example, Moderna and other pharma players are exploring blockchains for vaccine traceability at a very large scale, ensuring origin to the arm traceability. Container shipping, fleet optimization, and paperless trade. Global shipping is a complex multi-leg journey, handoffs across jurisdictions and mountain of paperwork. Digital twins can simulate entire shipping routes, model weather impact, and optimize fuel use. Blockchains, on the other hand, can digitize bill of lading, customer customs clearance, chain of custody verification. No more lost paperwork, no more delay because of mismatched documents. Everything is online, tamper proof on the blockchain. Think about the impact of this. Faster port clearance, lower fuel costs through route optimization, and of course, fewer disputes thanks to the tamper-proof records. This is an example I love personally. Merck's TradeLens platform. It was built on blockchain, showed us how digitizing documents could cut days of clearance time. The platform was sunset for strategic reasons, but the technology and the value still remains real. These aren't just the pilots, they are operational. These examples aren't one-off experiments. They are production-grade implementations by global leaders. Moderna, Pfizer in pharma, Tesla, BMW, Ford in automotive, Merck's, CMS EMG, Hapag-Lloyd in shipping and logistics. What's more important, these solutions are no longer limited to a large enterprise. Open source frameworks, APIs, and SaaS tools now allow mid-sized companies to adopt these solutions without building from scratch. If you have a right roadmap and the right partners, it's within reach. Each of this example above shows the power of combining live data that is coming from IoT, simulated foresights coming from digital twin, and trusted records and automation coming from blockchain. And the result it gives is lower risk, higher efficiencies, and better decisions backed by data that you can trust. Let me try and compare these two technologies and show how they can really complement each other. We've seen how these technologies play out in real world use cases. Let's step back and understand how blockchain and digital twins actually complement each other at a foundational level. Blockchain is your trust layer. It's like digital notary, recording every event, every transaction, every data point into a tamper-proof ledger. Once data is written on the chain, it can't be altered without everyone knowing. This makes blockchain a perfect for audit trails, compliances, and automating business logic through smart contracts. For example, if a shipment crossed a geofence, trigger a customs clearance. If a temperature breach occurred, notify insurance or hold the payment to the carrier. It's not just about recording what's happening. It's about enabling secure automated responses. On the other side, we have digital twins. These are virtual replicas of your physical operation, whether that's a factory floor, a transport fleet, or a warehouse. Powered by IoT data, they give you real-time visibility, but also simulation and forecast. What if the supplier is late? What if the fuel prices spike? How will my network adapt if the distribution hub goes down? These are some very important questions that we all struggle with on day-to-day basis. Digital twins are like having a flight simulator for the supply chain, except it runs on live sensor data, not static assumption. I know I'm repeating here, but this is something very, very, very important. But here's the key insight and why this pairing really matters. A digital twin is only as good as the data it receives. Imagine if the IoT temperature reading was wrong, or worst, intentionally manipulated. Maybe the sensor was faulty, or maybe someone falsified the reading to avoid penalties. That makes the entire simulation useless or even dangerous to us. That's where blockchain complements digital twins perfectly. It ensures that the data feeding to the twin is verified, timestamped, and immutable. So when the twin says reroute the shipment or halt the machine, you know the recommendation is based on real trusted data. Power of integration. Now let's try and bring all of this together. We have explored how digital twins give us the visibility and foresight, why blockchains ensures trust and accountability, and of course automation. But the real value, the real transformation happens when these two systems work together as one. Let me walk you through a new scenario, one that nearly every supply chain professional has faced: supplier disruption. Imagine you're managing a production plant in Pune. One of your tier 2 suppliers, let's say they supply a specialized alloy for engine components, reports delay due to flooding in their region. Now, here's what happens in a conventional setup. You hear about it hours or even days later via a phone call, an email, or a supplier portal update. You scramble to assess the impact. What orders can be affected? Can we shift volume to other suppliers? Will we miss customers' SLAs? But now imagine that this supplier is connected to the digital twin model on your extended supply network. The moment that flooding alert or production delay is detected, maybe via a local IoT weather or facility data, the twin models the ripple effects across your manufacturing schedule. It identifies alternate suppliers within your pre-approved network. It can run a cost lead time simulation to show you the best options. Here's where blockchain comes into this. That disruption alert is logged on the ledger, visible to procurement, planning, even finance. This alternates suppliers' credentials, certification, pricing, performance, SLAs are already verified and stored on chain. A smart contract is triggered to initiate a fast track PO automatically with full auditability. This is self-healing supply chain orchestration, not just reacting to a problem, but automatically adopting to minimize its impact. This is what we mean by a digital nervous system, sensing changes, verifying truth, and responding instantly. And the best part, you don't need to boil the ocean. Start with one factory, one product line, one supplier tier. Once you see how this automation improves responsiveness and reduces firefighting, scaling becomes a business decision, not a technology challenge. So what starts as a pilot becomes a playbook for resilience, agility, and proactive supply chain leadership. So how do we get started? Sorry. So how do we get started with the blockchain and digital twins? Good news, you don't need to start big, but very importantly, you need to start smart. This roadmap shows how leading companies are rolling out their technologies incrementally with a focus on measurable ROIs and cross-functional alignments. Step 1. Pilot with a clear problem. Start with a focused pilot tied to real business problem. For many, that's inventory visibility or fraud prevention. Example, you can use RFID plus blockchain to track high-value SKUs, temperature-sensitive goods, or returnable packagings like crates or pallets. The goal is very simple here. Establish a verifiable chain of custody and generate trusted, traceable data. This is where I typically help clients define pilot scopes, choose the right platform, and align stakeholders on success matrices. Step 2, adding intelligence with digital twins. Once you have a clean, reliable data stream, now you can bring in the digital twin. This could be a model of your inbound logistics flow, a production cell, or even entire distribution hub. I said in the beginning, let's start small. I'm looking at a bigger picture here. You'll use this twin to visualize bottlenecks, run simulation, test improvements before implementing them physically. Start with the areas that have frequent variability or high operational costs. A simple question, what happens if we shift this delivery window by 4 hours? What is the impact if this line goes down for 2 days? We are creating a decision support system here that's grounded in real verified data. Step 3, automate with smart contracts. This is where things get really exciting. With the trust layer in place, blockchain, and the intelligence layer running, digital twins, you can now automate actions based on predefined logics. Trigger payments based on sensor verified delivery. Initiate a replenishment order when safety stocks is breached. Alert quality control if deviations are detected upstream. And here's a kicker. It all happens without manual intervention, but with full traceability and audit readiness. This isn't just about efficiency, it's about removing friction, reducing delays, and building trust at a scale. Step 4, scale across the ecosystem. Once you have validated the approach internally, you can extend it to Tier 1, Tier 2 suppliers, logistics partners, customs and compliance bodies. At this stage, you're not just digitizing your supply chain. You're creating a shared operating platform across multiple stakeholders. But, and this is important, this step requires leadership in change management, data governance, technology integration. The tech stack is ready. The challenge now becomes.
Someone is to mute, please. Can you mute? Please go ahead.
Thank you. The tech stack by this time is ready. The challenge now becomes strategic alignment and cross-enterprise coordination. This is where organizations benefit most from external advisories to build a playbook, identify risks, and scale sustainably. The roadmap that I'm talking about is not theoretical. It's in use across pharma, automotive, logistics, and consumer goods. The question isn't, is the tech ready? The real question is, are we ready to lead this change before the competition do? Let me close with 4 key takeaways that I believe are most critical for today's supply chain leaders. Think strategy, not just tools. Technologies like blockchain and digital twins are not plugins. They are strategic capabilities. When aligned with your business goals, they unlock performance, resilience, compliance, and customer trust. But without that strategic intent, they become expensive experiments. You need to really ask yourself, what problem are we solving? Not just what tech are we buying? In one of the client engagements, simply reframing the problem from let's try blockchain to let's improve traceability for returns made the tech choice and success much cleaner. Second, solve real problem, not buzzwords. Let's be honest, emerging technology is full of hype. You have likely seen it all. But real transformation comes from anchoring technology to a measurable pain. Is it delayed shipments, missed SLAs, recall costs? Start there. Then explore what combination of data, simulation, and automation can fix it. When you do that, the tech becomes invisible and the results become obvious. This is where good consulting makes a difference. Defining the problem clearly, that the solution really becomes self-evident. Third, integration is the unlock. This is really a big one. Digital twins give you visibility and intelligence. Blockchain ensures that the data feeding them is real, verified, and tamper-proof. Individually, they are useful, but together, they become a system that predicts issue, takes preemptive actions, any documents and documents everything with full transparency. You move from being reactive to being proactively orchestrated. That's what tomorrow's supply chain looks like. And number 4, leaderships drive the adoption. Technology is not an IT project. It's a leadership journey across supply chain, operations, finance, even legal and compliance. You need a clear vision, cross-functional alignments, a strong business case that shows why it matters now. That's why organizations that succeed with these transformation treat it like a change program, not just a tech deployment. This is your opportunity, not just to modernize, but to lead your organization into smarter, more accountable, and data-driven future. If you're thinking this makes sense, but where do I begin? That's exactly where I can come help you. Let's explore the roadmap together, starting with the problem you already know needs a solving. Sir, can we have the second poll, please? Hello,
Give me a minute, I'll take the control.
please.
Please do the same thing. There will be a question. Please answer that. People who have joined late, please scan this and you type this class code there. There will be a question. Please answer that question. Hello, all of you, please scan this and then enter
Sir,
this
the
number.
QR code is not visible.
QR code is visible, right?
No, yeah, now it is.
Yeah. Please scan this. It will ask you for the class code. This is the class code 96077. And type your name, answer the question. There are 4 options. There are more than 50 people. Please, all of you scan and answer this. I'm saying only 16 participants as of now who joined in this. Please scan this, answer. The class code is here, 96077. It's a very simple question. If you are interested, you want to know more, please get in touch with him. So we want to know how many people are interested. So many people are there, but you are not joined. Please join. The response is very poor actually. Only 12 people have given responses. Do you have any difficulty? Scan this QR code and type this class number and type your name and answer the question. In the meantime, if anyone has got a question, please put it in the chat box.
It'll be good to have the questions in the chat box. We can take them up one by one immediately.
Yeah. Please type
Bala
your
sir,
questions in the chat box.
that Advika and Gaurav,
Yeah.
they are in the loop. They wanted to have some
Yeah,
clarification.
they have raised their hand. Yeah, they have raised their hand. This is the response as of now. 38% D. Only 3 people, 2 people, and 3 here. So not interested only 36% right now.
QR code is not touchable. The scan function is not touchable.
So these are the three people who are interested.
That's great. That's really great.
Geeta Viswanathan, Srinivas Chari.
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
Yeah, this is three. Even these three also will come in that category.
Yes.
I'll share this with you this week.
Well, it's let me say it's completely fair. Timing, priorities, and readiness vary. So what matters is that at least these ideas are there with you and on your radar. So let's come back to it. You already know what you need to ask, how we can proceed. So I'm sure we can take it up again.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yes, please. I'm opening it up for question answers.
Yeah.
Can we take
You
it
see,
up?
there is a lot of disruption in the shipping line, conveying of goods from one place to another. See, the routes are not properly moralized. You have to travel round the world clock and reach the destination. There are a lot of closure of ports. There are a lot of inland facilities not provided. How does blockchain manage this?
Okay. So here are two things what we talked about, two separate technologies. Okay. Blockchain is a data store. Okay. So blockchain is, I mean, think about it in a conventional centralized system. It is your database where all the data that is getting captured is stored. The problem that you are describing is actually for a digital twin, right? It's a virtual model of your current supply chain or a particular process for that matter, right? So when you feed in this data and you say that there is a port which is closed, what you can really do is you can model this, you can put this scenario into your model of digital twin and ask it to simulate what happens if this port goes down, or what happens if there is a certain environmental, there is a typhoon, the ports are closed in such and such area, or it is expected in such and such time. Wars, there are a lot of these factors now coming in. So blockchain is a data store, whereas your digital twin is what is going to really simulate these scenarios and come up with certain suggestions. We are not, I mean, I wanted to really take this up towards the end, but in case of digital twins, we are still very far behind as a technology. Right now, the most best of the models right now are probably, they are using the data, they are using the decisions that were taken in past, coming up with the results or scenarios, analysis for that matter. But then there is a new AI component that can go in to make these digital twins much, much more intelligent. And that's where the technology is heading now.
But how will the data be available if there
Right.
are sudden closure, sudden war, so all these things they happen, disruptions.
Right.
How will it be available?
So, the disruptions, okay, the data is coming, there are two type of data that are coming in. One is a live sensor data. So when you have a sensor onto your shipment, onto your container, onto the pallet, onto whatever you want to track, that is where that data is accessible to us. Rest of the data is coming from other sources. We cannot predict, the system cannot know in advance that is there going to be a war, or is there going to be, we can get some information in terms of weather now with the IoT, but it's not always available. So if the data is available, that can be put into simulation. If it is not, a digital, you can always feed in the data into a digital twin manually, that these are the scenarios that I want to simulate. If I mean, just take an example which I took, right? What happens if my machine goes down for 2 days? or this production line goes down for 2 days. It is exactly the similar scenario. So there is some data that is available reliably from blockchain, from IoT. There is some data that we need to feed into the digital twin to get the results. Am I clear?
Yeah, anyone else got any question? Any other question?
Uh, yeah, there were a couple of questions.
In the chat box.
Yes, Mr. Vivek, so he was asking, is digital twin a real time or is it simulation? Well, digital twin is a simulation. It's a software replica of your system, right? You can run it in real time with the real data, but at the end of it, it is a simulation. I hope that answers the question. Now we have Mr. Gaurav, we have not implemented this. This is pretty new technology and we are just getting into it. Geeta, how blockchain can help in banking industry? I think, Geeta, we will try and stick to the supply chain part of it for now. Yes, there are some parts of it like, you can have a smart contract automatically trigger the payments, or based on bill of lading or geofencing, you can have these interactions with the bank. But it is still in a nascent phase. So it is not happening. Yes, there are a lot of models which are related to DeFi, as we call digital finance, distributed finance, sorry. In the blockchain space, there are a lot of things that are happening there. But these two things getting integrated is still there. It's still waiting to happen. Our primary initiatives, yeah, Mr. Sriram, our primary initiatives on digital twins are with in-house logistics manufacturing, where the necessity of blockchain is diminished. Your comments. Well, it depends upon your scenario, how you want to really do this. In my opinion, blockchain really plays a very important role. Uh, the immutability of the data is what really is very important, because digital twin, as we said, it's a simulation. It's of your replica. It's a replica of your real system. It is running a simulation. And if the data is not reliable, if you're sure that the data is reliable, it's great. You don't need a blockchain. But when it comes to so many parties, that trust, establishing that trust is very important, and blockchain plays a very important role. It is basically, it builds the trust between the parties who do not trust each other. So that's where blockchain really plays a role.
Thank you.
Welcome. Ms. Girija, the trade lanes shutdown last year was the death knell on blockchain applications in supply chain areas. We all know the reasons. Is there any other such large SMC blockchain efforts going on? Yes, in fact, there is a open source consortium, Digital Twin Consortium, which is there, which is really trying to do this at a much larger scale. I would really encourage you to visit their website and see. They have been putting in a lot of efforts since, I believe, 2018 or 2020 in putting this together, and blockchain and digital twins together. There are a lot of other modules, of course, but yes. Well, at this point, I think the biggest player who is using blockchain, two big entities which I am aware of, one is DHL, who is using it for their cold storage, cold goods movement. And another example is government of China, which is in process of setting up, and they have really advanced system right now for tracking every shipment going out of the country and coming into the country, and that is running on blockchain. So yes, there are a lot of them. There's no much publicity about these solutions, but yes, there are a lot of initiatives in the world, and people are really trying to get this going. I hope it helps.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Ketan. It was a wonderful lecture. In fact, you started with why global disruptions create problems for us. Based on that, then you went into blockchain, shared tamper-proof ledger, also talked about immutability, why consensus builds trust, then timestamping makes it auditable, and then you also talked about real-time tracking, dynamic data-driven model, authenticity, uh, then how vaccine can be traced, and finally you gave us an implementation map. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful lecture. We are very much enlightened. People who want to get in touch with him, his contact details are given. And I thank all the participants. And it was really a wonderful lecture. On behalf of Iimm
Thank you.
Bangalore, I once again thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, if you could, I'm not sure if the last slide is visible with the contact
Yeah, it's
details.
visible
If
now.
you could
It's visible.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Because everybody can contact directly in that
Yeah.
case.
Thank you,
Thank
Ketan,
you.
sir.
Thank
Okay,
you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, sir. Thank you, the IIM team, for really inviting me. It was an honor, and I really hope I can engage with you all in future again.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Ketan, this is Karun here. A lot of takeaway from you. Thank you so much. I am from IIM Bangalore.
Thank you, sir. I'm looking forward to seeing you sometime soon.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
These are the contact details. Whoever wants to contact, please scan this. We can get in touch with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.